Looks like the markets have bottomed out. Look at the Indian stock market, look at the US markets. That also has shown some good recovery. Look at gold and silver as well. So, across the asset classes, there is some good level of recovery. So, now the real question is, if the global tensions have settled down, then where and how much should you invest before the market shows a good recovery? See, I have personally invested 20 lakh rupees in the last few days and I am going to be revealing where. Plus, I will show you exactly how to plan your investment, whether you have 1 lakh, 5 lakh, or 10 lakh rupees. Where to invest, how much to allocate, what is the risk, what is the reward, the real upside this market has to offer. Everything backed by data, I am going to show you. And if you are new to my channel, this is Sanika, MD and Research Analyst at Rangavan Finance. And my firm's goal is simple: your growth, our priority. So hit the subscribe button because you are going to understand a lot of things. And trust me on that. So, with that context, let us come straight to the real question. If I had to deploy fresh money right now, then how would I divide it? Not emotionally, not because one asset class has suddenly bounced, but because the current market setup is giving us a rare mix of fear, recovery, and valuation support. So, my broad framework is simple. The biggest allocation goes to equity, then a smaller but an important allocation goes to an asset class which is available at a good discount, and I will reveal it soon. Then the final bucket goes to an asset class which still many of the investors ignore, even though it has the potential to drastically change the overall portfolio returns. So if I had to invest 10 lakh rupees right now, then 55 to 60% of it would go into the Indian stock market. And even if the number is 1 lakh or 5 lakh rupees, the percentage logic remains the same. The amount changes, but the strategy does not. But now you must be thinking that why am I comfortable giving India the biggest allocation? Because when I look at the current market, I am not just seeing a bounce. I am seeing a valuation support. Take Nifty 50p. At the end of March, it was around 19.6. And if you compare that to the last 5 years, the lower level has been around 18.92. So from a valuation perspective, we are already near to the lower band. Now one ratio alone is never enough, so let's add a second lens. Look at the Sensex to gold ratio from 1999 to 2026. So historically, whenever this ratio has come close to 0.18, that zone has acted as a very strong support area. You saw it around 2003, 2009 and 2012. And now again in 2026, we are back near 0.18. So what is this telling me? It is telling me that from a valuation perspective, Indian equities are in a zone where long-term money should start paying serious attention to it. But does that mean there is no risk? Absolutely not. In fact, bottoms are never built in comfort. Bottoms are built when fear is still around. And the first big fear right now is FII selling. And over the last few years, especially 2022, 2024 and 2025, FIIs have sold heavily. And even now in 2026, a lot of selling has already happened. So now you must be thinking, will the FIIs continue selling? The answer is yes. And this concern is very real. Even Nitin Kamath pointed out that global investors are currently less interested in India due to various reasons like oil-related risk, rupee weakness, taxes like LTCG, STCG, higher STT, and the fact that other markets may appear attractive right now. So I want to be very clear with you. FII's inflow remain a risk. Yes, the foreign institutional investments can influence the market, and if the inflows do not come, then the markets can feel the pressure in the short term. Yes, we may struggle a little, but that does not mean that the growth story stops. It does not mean that the market cannot move upwards. See, you can choose a great business, enter at the right time, but still fail to make money if you do not manage your risk properly. And that is why I always say stock selection is important, but managing your risk is essential. And if you want the proof, just look at our multi-bagger model portfolio. When the broader market was falling down sharply, our portfolio remained strong. And in this portfolio, we have exposure to small cap stocks. Now, the small cap index was down nearly 20 to 25%, and many individual stocks were as down as 30 to 40%. But our portfolio stayed resilient and was down only 5 to 6%. So the point is, you can choose Rangavan Finance to start your investment journey, or you can go with anyone else as well. But whatever you do not stop investing, because in the next 1 year, the Indian markets are going to touch a new high. And at that time, you should not regret that I should have invested during the fall. Now, coming back to the video, the second risk is of the GDP growth and the macro side. The GDP growth expectations of around 7.4% are under pressure. So yes, the macro picture is not perfect. But wait, this is where the market behavior becomes interesting. See, markets usually do not bottom when everything is beautiful. They bottom when fear is everywhere and confidence is low. And that is why these sharp corrections often create the best opportunities. And that is exactly why, despite all of these risks, I am still very bullish about the Indian markets right now. And that is also one of the reasons why I deployed 20 lakh rupees in the last 2 weeks. Now, the next important question is, where should we invest inside the Indian markets? Now, my answer is simple. Focus on value-driven sectors. And the first sector is the realty sector. Now, this sector has already gone through a serious correction. Since September 2024, when the broader market correction phase began, the Nifty Realty Index is down around 41%. So that kind of damage creates pain, but it also creates opportunities. That is why names like DLF, Oberoi Realty and Anant Raj became interesting zones to track. Now the second sector is renewable energy. Why? Because the recent global tensions and oil shocks have taught the world anything, it is this: not to depend on others for their energy security. And that naturally pushes the focus towards renewable resources, which is why stocks like Waaree Energies, Premier Energies, Tata Power and Adani Green became more important stocks to watch. Now third is the healthcare sector. Now this is one of those sectors where buying during consolidation has often rewarded the patient investors. Now it may not move up in a straight line, but dips in a strong healthcare company can often create attractive opportunities. Now that I've already told you the stock names and the sectors that I am looking at, many of you must have this important question. According to my investment capital, how much should I invest? What is the exact quantity that I should buy? Now, this is a genuine concern because every investor does not invest the same amount of capital. Someone who is investing 50,000 rupees cannot follow the same quantity and allocation of someone who is investing 2 lakh or 5 lakh rupees. See, the stock selection may be similar, but the quantity and the allocation will naturally be different. And that is exactly why we have provided the investment calculator. All you need to do is go to the calculator, enter the amount that you want to invest and click on calculate investment, and the system will automatically tell you the stock names, the number of shares that you need to buy and the exact amount you are supposed to invest according to your investment capital. So this makes the process simple, practical and personalized. So instead of guessing your allocation, you get a clear and structured investment plan based on your investment capital. So whether you're investing 50,000 rupees, 2 lakh rupees or 5 lakh rupees, the calculator helps you understand the right quantity and the right investment amount for your portfolio. And the best part is that this feature is free for the model portfolio members. So just log into the rangavan.finance website and click on the investment calculator and use the new feature directly. So within that 55 to 60% India allocation, I would focus on these stocks and I would keep a strong bias towards small caps if the investor has patience and can handle volatility over the next 2 to 3 years. Now let's move to the second asset class, and that is gold. And according to me, gold deserves 10 to 15% allocation. Why? Because gold corrected by around 15%, and when a strong long term trend corrects, that is where opportunity can reappear. The bigger story here is de-dollarization. Central banks are increasingly buying gold instead of relying on the dollar, and this is not a short term story. In my view, it can continue through 2028, 2029, and even 2030. And I am not saying that gold will only go up. It will have dips, it will have volatility, profit booking will happen, fear will return from time to time. But structurally, I remain bullish, and that is why I do not look at gold as a short term trade. I look at it as a portfolio layer because volatility can stay high. So I prefer investing in the SIP mode. Now, coming to the final 25% of the portfolio, this is the part which most of the investors will ignore, but it matters. So I will give my final 25% to the US markets. And I'm not saying this casually. In my personal portfolio, which I have been holding from the last 3 years, I am in more than 75% profit. On top of that, I have got the benefit of rupee depreciation. Now, when I started investing in the US markets, rupee was near 74 rupees and now it is near 93 rupees. It means that your total returns are not only coming from the assets, it is also getting support from the currency movement. So, intelligent diversification matters. So, don't just keep on asking whether the market has bottomed or not. Ask yourself this: when the opportunity came with fear, did you have the courage and the plan to act? And if you want, I will break down the exact stock and their annual results and explain it to you in detail. Let me know in the comments below which stock do you want me to analyze. And as always, this was Sanika from Rangavan Finance, and I will see you very soon in the next one. Till then, bye bye.